Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Access, a social media program produced and presented by the UWA Global Campus. I'm your host, Cherise Glasgow. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are on the World Wide Web. Before we begin, we at the UWA Global Campus, we want to extend our heartfelt well wishes to all those who were affected by the passing of Hurricane Beryl over the course of last week. Our own graduates would have been affected, and we want to wish them and residents from their country the very best. Today, our graduates Ken and Annie Kay, the latter who was unable to join us this evening due to post-hurricane issues. We are going to speak today to two of our most recent 2023 graduates, and they represent, two of the global campus country sites. You will hear their stories and experiences of studying with the UWA Global Campus. Our very special guests today are Sabrina Perry from British Virgin Islands and Ken Thomas from Grenada. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk Access. It's a pleasure having you on today. We are going to let
Good
you
evening.
introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is
We're going
Sabrina
to let you
Perry.
introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you are.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sabrina Perry. I am from the British Virgin Islands. I was studying marketing at the UWI Open Campus here, and I recently graduated last year. I am currently working at a small trust company as a corporate administrator. I am 25 years old, and yeah.
And
Hello, everyone. I am Ken Thomas here from Grenada. I've been an educator for the past 10 years. Um, yeah, I finished my first degree in 2019 and currently finished my master's in 2020 last year.
okay, great. So before we get any further, can just tell us a bit about how you're doing and how your country, your residents are doing after the passing of the hurricane.
All right, so for now, can't complain. I'm all good for now. Thank God. Well, less than a week ago, the 1st of July, that's when Hurricane Beryl struck our island. It was quite devastating for certain part of the island. Where I live in St. Andrews right now, we're right now we're kind of getting back to normalcy, a bit of normalcy. We have back our current, our water, etc. So we say thank God for that. So we're coping quite well for now. Can't complain for that at all. As relates to what's your other question? I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Just asking how the other residents are coping.
We're all okay in Grenada for now. Can't complain. We're coping with the whole idea of the passing of Beryl, but right now we're all good for now. Thanks for asking.
No problem at all. And as I said before, we do wish you the very best. And we hope that those who are listening, there are so many resources online and organizations who are organizing aid. And we do hope that you will take advantage of this opportunity to help our fellow Caribbean um, persons and also our fellow Pelicans. So let's get into the program. You've introduced yourself, you told us a bit about who you are. Let us know, tell us now, why did you choose the global campus to pursue your studies?
I guess I'll go first.
Yes.
Well, initially, I wanted to go to UWA in Jamaica. My family is from Jamaica, so I wanted to really go there and kind of experience the culture as well. But I was strapped for cash, and I wanted to pursue my degree. I wanted to continue with my degree. I took a year off I went to a community college and I took a year off, but I didn't want to work and then save and then go to school. So I told my mom, I was like, what's the next best thing we can do? And she told me that they have a program at the college that I was attending, a little program. And when I went up there, they actually told me that it wasn't a program per se, but it was the global campus. And I enrolled and I got in and just went from there.
All right. So on my end now, from since I finished secondary school, college level, I wanted to pursue the bachelor's degree, but I wasn't too sure like in what area or too specific what I'll engage in. I started teaching 2013. After teaching, like I observed that I really like the idea of teaching. I'm passionate about the profession, and I try my best to see like how I best can grow in any way possible. In 2015, I think, or 2016, I can't remember the year. Sorry, it's been a while. 2016, I started my bachelor's degree. That's my first degree, bachelor's of education. Um, my first degree in it's been a while. Sorry, my first degree I finished in 2019, and after 2019, now I was like, I need to. I was feeling the edge, like something is missing, and at the time that okay, I'd experienced the student games in 2018, 2019, same year, and I felt like okay, I need to kind of go back to get something more. And at the same time, I think the COVID pandemic came in 2020. So when the pandemic struck, is like how can I best reach my students? And that's the idea where I start to say, okay, teaching and learning in emerging technologies is a great way that is current right now, and it's an idea area that we can all benefit from as teachers and with as students. How best can I reach my students? So that's why I decided to do my master's in teaching and learning in emerging technologies, focusing on curriculum qualities. And also a way of there's a gap of knowledge. How can I best be able to serve my students in my care? So that's what the main reason why I did my master's.
And you really means what does access means to both of you?
You want to go first this time, Ken?
Ladies first, my gentleman.
To me, access means quite a lot. I'm from a very small island. Not many persons in the Caribbean knows about the British Virgin Islands, much less the rest of the world. So it's very difficult gaining access to certain things, especially seeing that we have to import a lot of things. So having an access to education, especially online education, it was something very important to me and something that I really appreciated that UE did, especially having a base on our island. It was really I really appreciated it. It was something that it really meant a lot to me seeing that our island was so small. Our island is so small. Yeah.
All right. For me, the idea of access is quite important in our era right now, and I'm quite grateful for it. Why is that? Like for example, back then, online studies was not that accessible for many of us in the Caribbean, especially teachers as educators. Just to backtrack a bit, for example, right now you have more educators with first degrees, second degrees, PhDs, on opposed to like back then, because of the barrier that was preventing them back then. So right now, with the access to more, the more knowledge, classes online, it is quite a good thing for us now, and I'm quite grateful for the idea of access to everything in the world right now that we all enjoying at our fingertips.
You know that access is one of our triple strategy pillars here at the UWA Global Campus, and we are so glad that we are able to accommodate both of you in to satisfy that need for access, not only in terms of size, but reachability as well. So we want to encourage, those who are watching online to send your well wishes to the panel here. I see already persons are commenting on our social media platforms. Big up yourself, Ken, someone from Grenada. So continue to wish those persons here. Cheer them on. If you have questions for them, you can place that in chat. So Sabrina and Ken would have stated what access means to them. And as I stated, access is one of our modus operandi at the UWA Global Campus. And just to remind you that our application period remains open for all programs for the semester starting September 2024. You have until Wednesday, July 31st for undergraduate programs, and tomorrow, July the 12th, is actually the last day if you want to apply for your postgraduate program. So you can access these application procedures by logging on to our website at global.uwa.edu/apply. That is global.uwa.edu/apply. So Ken and Sabrina, tell us, how would you describe your overall experience at the Global Campus?
My experience at the Global Campus, it's a great experience. I'm actually thinking of going back to get my master's at the UWI Global Campus. And I have also recommended the UWI Global Campus to two of my friends who are currently attending as well, based on my recommendations. They're very welcoming. Every issue that I've had, I was able to have someone respond to it, especially on a timely manner. Um, I was in a situation where I needed to take more classes, and they were able to let me know how many classes I was able to take and how many grades I was able to take, and I mean how many the grades that I needed to have in order to take the extra classes. And they were very helpful, and the timely manner that they had, I was very impressed with it, especially coming from, a college where there wasn't really that was an issue. So I was very happy about that.
All right. So my experience been an interesting journey. I said before, I started my first degree in education, leadership, and management studies, major in 2016. So at first, it was a bit difficult in terms of like trying to get a groove of how things are actually flowing. I remember saying to myself that, boy, you would never go back to and do a next degree because of the idea of how much it was like taxing on my body. I would say that like both balancing teaching and studies at the time. But I would say that after my first degree, that I realized how much I miss studies. That's why I actually went back to UE and did a master's and TLET curriculum studies. So yes, at the end of the day, like I'm grateful for the experience that I have gotten over the how much years, and that actually I want more. You understand? So right now I'm actually looking to do my doctoral studies. I'm still trying to see like what area I'm doing and whatever the case may be. So on a whole, I'm quite grateful for the experience, and I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world.
And you've been bitten by the study bug, it seems.
Repeat that.
You've been bitten by the study bug. So tell us, what would you say was the highlight of your program for you?
The highlight of my program, and this would be very ironic to say, but my group projects, like having that community, meeting the persons in the group, getting to know your classmates a little bit more, working, learning about them, learning about where they come from, where they're currently living, just having that extra community that you wouldn't really have online per se. You know that when you go to a physical college, you'd have persons to be around you all the time. But when you're online, yes, they're your classmates and yes, they're there. Yes, you can shoot a question to them. But being in that group, learning them, being being online, and then coming together and be like, you understand this, can you help me with this? That community, that sense of community, that probably was my highlight. It was my group projects were crazy, but the community made me feel it was is my best. That was my best highlight of like the entire curriculum, my group projects.
Sabrina, I guess that would have been good for you too, since you said you're from such a small island in the Caribbean, meeting
Yes,
persons from all the other different sister islands.
definitely. And I got to educate them a lot about the British Virgin Islands because a lot of them didn't know about the island. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And what about you?
All right. So like for my first degree, master's of education, leadership, and management studies, my highlight was that the group members, like same thing that the members I met along the way, is quite a bunch of awesome people that I still will talk to on a daily basis right now. The way that how we all journey together through it all, trying to become a lifelong learner in the process. That I was so grateful for, like the how we they foster me, they lift me up, we work together to make sure that we can all cross this barrier, this bridge of obtaining our first degree. So this, on the other hand, now my masters now, I was quite grateful for like the small group of friends I met. So because we were a small class for the masters, okay. But the two many members, I remember like Mr. Paul, Kimberly, Sabrina. We all met together. We had a group chat. We all journey along each other. We try our best to like help each other along the way. So that was the main takeaway for me, and actually like getting to access and like learn more of ways in which we can actually um communicate or bridge the gap of student learning, not only like face to face, but actually online, how to help children better. So on a whole, I was quite grateful for the both opportunities I get to study online.
So, how would you say that in terms of your program, how would it or has it helped you in your field of influence in terms of the technicality and the practicalness of the program and what you do now or hope to do in the future?
All right, so I could pinpoint two aspects I'll talk about. For example, throughout my master's program, we were able to save our information on a capstone. And through the capstone, I can go back for the 2 years duration of my master's program. I was able to see the growth of like how different areas we can use in order to go ahead and help students. Okay, so I was grateful for that opportunity. Why? Because I could go back still today and get information on how I can help my students within my classroom to actually get information, the different platform that different learning apps they can use to help make learning more interesting. So I was quite grateful for the same knowledge I get for my masters. I can actually implement it like more practical base right away because I was able to help like my students right now because I'm teaching currently like I'm principal of accounting in secondary school, and I can how we can use the idea of the video online to help make learning more interesting, more accessible as well too.
Interactive, yeah, more interactive, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. In my case, it taught me about time management, and how to deal with workload. I always tell people this, just because we're online, that does not mean that the work is easy or the work is just a little bit. I feel like going to school online is a little bit more difficult than going to school in person. You have a rigorous, you get up, you wake up in the morning, you bathe, brush your teeth, you get ready to go, you sit down, you do what you have to do. You probably could go to a library. When you're at home online, sometimes you just want to pick up your laptop and you want to go on your bed. You wake up, you see the Zoom call, and you learn nothing for the day. So you have to manage your time. You have to manage your time And I feel like now that because I'm working for a small corporate trust company in the British Virgin Islands, so the workload is heavier than it would be in a larger company because we have to be multifaceted in different areas. So just that as well, and same group projects, it taught me to be a little bit more confident, come out of my shell more. So now I'm actually helping my friend. She's starting a carnival troupe. So I'm helping her with that. And I'm also starting a small book club. So it helps me to become more of like the practicality of UE and what it taught me, basically to become more of like a leader and to take more risk of what I'm doing.
Also for me, I would say that it also helped me to right now to have an idea of embracing change. Um Embrace change. How much it's important for us right now to embrace change, because remember, like let's say students of this generation and like students like the previous generation, how they learn is two totally different era. So we have
Yeah.
to be able to reach them at their level, and how best we can help foster them and grow them and nurture them. So with the technology, it's a win-win. So I'm actually happy that I did my master's in that particular area, which is quite current in this particular walk of time.
Mhm.
This is something that you will continue to grow on to for your doctorate, or you haven't decided quite as yet.
Repeat the question.
This is something, that area of technology will be something you will continue to grow on for your doctorate, or you haven't quite decided as yet.
I haven't quite decided as yet. I'm still looking and seeing, like I'm listening to God's call and see like where best He takes me. Because I never, before I start my first degree, it was never my aim to actually do a first degree in education. I was more looking at the more accounting part of it, not really the education part of it. But with God's call and God's voice, I would continue to listen to His call and see where best He would take me through this walk of life.
Into online learning, working with technology, as she would have said, that is not as easy as some persons would think. How did you find the online learning experience?
The online learning experience, um, well, it was kind of different for me, because I didn't work. My mom told me to treat it as if I was going to a physical college. So for the first half of my degree, I didn't work at all. Plus, it was around COVID time, so I literally had nothing else to do but my work. So I was very focused in time management. Um, I was very that was what and I overloaded on classes. So I was doing 5 classes every semester during COVID. So I was basically just doing just schoolwork alone. But after COVID, I got a job, a part-time job, and then I really had to learn, okay, this is work time. This is time to do schoolwork. I also need time to rest. I need time to socialize. So I really had to learn time management when it came to online classes and deadlines. You have to meet your deadlines. So I also, ensure that my time, each time was very put together. Each time was very strategic. So I know, okay, I have 2 hours to do this, I have 2 hours to do that, and not to waste my time basically.
All right, so I would say like as Sabrina, I was not that fortunate to stay at home and not work. I had to go to work, so I had to in terms of like balancing my schedule. At first, I would say it was really difficult, but as time progressed, I was able to trust myself, trust my instinct, and trust like managing time. Remember that time, if you don't manage your time, it will come back to haunt you in the near future. So as the
Mhm.
first year gradually move on, I was able to actually like get a hang of it and see how much I can actually balance myself and get my work done. I would say that my master's was quite easier than my first degree. I'm not sure why. I guess because I was able to know what I'm getting myself into, so I can actually like settle down myself and manage my time properly and do what I have to do, and that was it. So I'm quite grateful for it all.
Take advantage and to finance studies, that was
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
EW take advantage of the payment plan that we offer to finance your studies.
It was quite huge, yeah.
You did?
I would say for me, it was quite it was like it was the best because I remember like taking the payment plan for most of my studies to be able to make sure I balance my cash accordingly. So that was quite good. I really enjoyed the payment plan, and I it's a plus.
Yeah, the payment plan is a very big plus. And one of the reasons why I decided to, come to UE when me and my mom sat down and we looked at, the maths of me going to like actually physically going to UE in Jamaica, it made more sense for us and our budget to basically for me to stay home and, do school online.
Like for me again too, I wasn't able to like, for example, it was so good that I didn't have to go and take a mortgage to study online.
Mm-hmm.
But I can go ahead and take the payment plan, be more dedicated, like know what to put aside, and then it was quite useful. So I'm
Yeah.
quite for this opportunity of a payment plan to actually go through my university life.
Mm-hmm.
Hope those who are watching us online are taking notes and listening to this very interactive engagement that we are having and these tips that are being brought by Ken and Sabrina about their journey. Sabrina would have done her undergrad and Ken his postgrad, his master's. We want to encourage those who are watching to continue to show your support and leave your comments, your encouragement in the chat. I see Calvin is on. Calvin is also a Pelican, and he would have also been one of our former interviewees on Let's Talk Access. Ken, you're also getting out, shouted out from Anika Sanderson. She's saying that she's proud of you. So those who are watching, continue to cheer on these two graduates and those who may be thinking of applying to the UWI Global Campus. This is the perfect opportunity for you to know more about our campus and know more about the student life. So speaking of student life, I want to hear from you now to let us know how did you balance your work, your household responsibilities, and your studies, or any other responsibilities or activities you had to undertake during your time of studying.
Um, well, as I said before, I wasn't working in the first half of my degree. In the second half, I had to learn more about work and school life balance, especially since I was taking about 5 classes still. So it was very difficult in the beginning, but you as you go along, um, you learn to instead of spending 30 or 40 minutes on the phone, you could spend, okay, I'm only spending 20, and then I'll get to my schoolwork. If instead of at lunchtime you're just on your phone scrolling, I would bring my laptop and I would do some work. But it's just about getting it done, just getting your work done and even getting ahead. Because sometimes when I had the extra time, I would try to get ahead in case something would come up at work and I would have to stay back. I know that, okay, well, I already read through this chapter. I could just, listen in on my phone to the lesson for that day, and then I can come home and quickly revise through to ensure that I'm following with the class.
All right. On my hand is like at first I said I had to be able to value the importance of management and like trying to like see how best like prioritize what is important to me. So at first I remember like I was teaching. I was actively involved in track and field as well. 'Cause I was training at the time. as well as coming home to studies as well. So at the time, I value the idea of my studies. Why? Because I try my best not to venture out in anything else besides teaching, training, and my studies. So I know when I come home, I know that it's time for studies. I would get my studies done no matter what. And as well too, I was actually grateful for like my circle of friends. They actually lift me up and say, you know what, Ken, we need to go. So when I was slacking at times, they would pull me down and say, Ken, come on, we need to get this going. So my circle was really strong, and I'm grateful for them. Even today, I'm grateful for them because they actually taught me the importance of, you know what, that we are in it together and we have to make it no matter what. So all of us, we're here, we want our first class honors. We want to get the distinction. And that was actually good feeling when you crossed in the stage and you, first class honors, distinction. So we all wanted it, and we were quite competitive teachers. So we wanted to get the A's. We don't want no B's and C's. We want the A's, so we have to come and put in the work, balance, get it going, do what we have to do. And that's what helped me towards it all.
Encouraging. So I want to ask, okay, how was your relationship like with your global campus country sites? Or did you have a relationship with those in the office in your country?
For me, I was actually serving on the student guild in 2017, I believe, 2016, 2017. I was the chair assistant. So actually, before I would literally stay at the campus after school, even as well as I'm on weekends, when time for like to get the assignments done, the study group going, while we prepare for end of term exam, we literally go to the campus and spend the entire day. And up to today, I would pass by the campus and say, "Oh, you come back and do something again, boy." We have a real good rapport in Grenada. That's one thing I'm grateful for them, and I like the idea how they supported me throughout the journey of my studies with the University of the West Indies Open Campus.
Mine was a little different. We have a extremely small office, so there's about like 2 or 3 persons. However, they were in my class, so I still had a lot of connection with them. I still spoke to them, although I didn't went up there as often as Ken would go to his. I still talked to them. We were very close. We were in groups together, so I still had that conversation with them about, like, campus stuff and what was going on. I had persons who taught me, actually being, a schoolmate of mine, and they being on the guild and me wanting to be on it. Unfortunately, I didn't proceed with going on the guild, in the student guild, but yeah, we have it was an interesting dynamic, because although I wasn't at the campus site, I still had a conversation, and we still have conversations about things that were going on up there.
Sabrina, the persons from the office were in your class, so that's another access point you had.
Yeah, they were in my class. Yeah.
And
That's
also, I must
very
add as
good.
well too, there are many opportunities that we can also that I or we received from serving on the student guild, which is very grateful for. Like, for example, they would help in like paying tuition for students and like serving like going around the place, doing other activities. So I was really, really grateful for the whole um community life that we foster at the University of the West Indies Open Campus in particular.
That's definitely another avenue any potential or current student can look to explore to get that additional help, not only in finances but networking as well, Ken.
Definitely.
That's true.
So I want to ask you about the virtual graduation. You would have, since COVID, during COVID, we would have moved towards a virtual graduation instead of having a live blended graduation as we would have done in past years. How was the virtual graduation for you? Tell us about that experience.
Me? Okay,
Um,
right? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
you, no, you can go ahead.
No, I'm gonna go ahead because I didn't have a virtual graduation.
Oh, okay. My virtual graduation, it was good. A lot of persons couldn't attend because we had a small physical graduation at the college as up by the site as well. So we basically, I didn't have, because the site is so small, only 2 or 3 persons for each graduate could attend. So mostly I had to send out, invitations for that's where the virtual graduation was really beneficial for me. So a lot of persons, my sister, my niece, and my nephew that lives in Jamaica, and in the States, I was able to send them the link and they were able to see my virtual graduation. And then my parents who live here with me was able to actually go to the physical graduation that I had.
For me, unfortunately, I did not enjoy the whole idea of a virtual graduation. So, like when in 2023, like last year, October, November, October, that's what I'm grateful for UE for. Once a UE student, always a UE student. So it don't matter if you're
Mhm.
online or face to face, etc. You can get to go on any of the campus and graduate, which I was grateful for. So last year, when I heard like virtual graduation, I said, nah, I want to be in face to face, actually feeling the excitement. So I ventured to Kville and in Barbados, and I graduated face to face there, not online. Sorry about it. Not okay.
Want to participate in the virtual graduation, they can indeed graduate with a landed campus.
Mhm.
So I just want to remind all of those who are listening to us, who are watching us, that applications remain open for all programs for the semester starting September 2024. You have until Wednesday, July 31st to apply for your undergraduate program of choice. And tomorrow is your last day if you wish to apply for a postgraduate program. That is July the 12th. So you can access this application procedures by logging on to our website at global.ue.edu/apply. That is Wednesday, July 31st is the deadline for our undergraduate program, and tomorrow, Friday, July 12th, the last day to apply for our postgraduate programs. You can access the portal by logging on to global.ue.edu/apply. So, what have both of you been doing since completing your studies? You know you don't have any assignments that you have to rush to submit to, all of that stress, any group projects, any group work. What have you been doing? Sabrina is somewhat of an evangelist. She's telling persons about the UWA Global Campus and getting persons to become a part of our community. But what else have you been doing?
Well, one of my hobbies is reading. So I do love to read. I picked up back the hobby, and I am currently working on starting a book club. I am also helping my friend. She wants to do a carnival troupe. So I'm also working on that. So I am putting my marketing skills that I've learned to use. But those are the two main focus that I've been doing apart from working. Those are the two main things that I'm focusing on.
For me, I have been at first it is I would say that it's difficult in order to like you would wonder like when you finish studies like where all the time come from, boy. When you had studies you don't have all this time, but right now you see so much of
Yes.
time that you
Mhm.
needed when you're doing the studies. So for me now, I am trying to
Yep.
see how I can be more practical in terms of like yes, I have a first degree, I have a second degree, but make it work for me. So for example, I'm trying to be with the help of my school, I'm trying to be I'm more involved in terms of like in my school life, how I can help my students, how I can help maybe assist around the school, my principal, my staff, everybody in the whole. See how best I can be more involved. That's one of the areas I've been trying to get more involved in, like trying to be more involved in my student life, sport life on a whole, as well as on a personal level as well too. I'm actually trying to I currently have a business, so I'm trying to see how best I can be more of a manager in this kind of role and execute more and grow. as well. Understand me? So I'm trying to be more involved in like my community life, my school life, my church life on a whole, and even my personal life, my training life as well too, which helped me to be more disciplined into what I have to do and accomplish later on in my life.
You seem like someone that is on the go a lot.
Yes, yes, I enjoy being on the go. I would say like sometimes that idle hands is the devil workshop. I don't want to be idle too much, but then again, sometimes I have to like say, Ken, you need to sit down and rest because resting also
the rest.
to rest as well.
After 2 degrees back to back.
Well,
definitely.
I didn't get that.
Especially after having completed 2 degrees back to back.
Well, yes, it's true. But at the end of the day, like after finishing, you would realize like how much more you have to offer at a young age. I mean, at the end of the day, like I always say that it's whatever God wants of me. So, for example, if I most time get the desire to continue, I'll try my best to see how I can best pursue that. But for now, I'm just like praying more, trusting this path more, and even trying to see like what next for me as life progress on.
I just want to ask Sabrina something. You would have mentioned earlier in the conversation that you were trying or you have been recommending the campus to persons. Tell us a bit about that and how that is going for you. And how do you approach it?
So usually, I have conversations with my friends. It started off with, my friends, and I was one of the first persons in my friend group. I'm actually the second. I was the second person out of my friend group that actually finished my degree. So they were going about asking me if I would prefer the global campus compared to like a physical campus. Because remember, I just came off of like a physical community college. So they were asking me the differences and what they would what should they do. And I recommended to one of my friends. She has a young baby, and I recommended her. And instead of going away and leaving the young one with with the grandma, she can just stay and work, and she can slowly get her degree, and she'll be able to spend time with her child, see the child reach certain specific milestones that you wouldn't want to miss as a mom because you're away at school. And that's just how I got my first person to join. And then the second person, they actually quit community college, and they wanted to start back school, but they didn't want to go at the community college. And I told them that UE was a great place that they could go. They don't have to. They didn't want to leave their job. They didn't want to leave the island, but they wanted to go online and study, and they didn't have as much disposable income or as much income that they to go and look for school in the UK. So I told them that UE was a good school. I went to it. Um, I would recommend it, especially since that they wanted to do business. I said they have nice programs. The teachers are wonderful. I didn't have any like problems, and that's just how I became like just talking about UE and just recommending UE because it is a good school.
For me now, I would say that I learned, for example, recommendation. So, for example, access. All right, and the idea of my friends, like my educators, my friends on a whole, who I communicate with on a daily basis. Right, like most times when I used to be doing like my studies, like let's say I'm doing a particular assignment, it's just most times like post my current what I'm doing, like my studies online. And they also ask like, "What you doing, boy?" And I will share more about the school for them. They will go and read upon about it, and as well too, I've seen different students, different friends and colleagues. They have started doing the first degree or second degree right now with UE because of the experience that I had and I shared with them, and they are quite grateful that they as well go back and also upgrade themselves, be more qualified. So access and it's all good. So I'm shared and they're all grateful for that as well.
So now I'm going to give you both the opportunity to, if there's any co-workers, friends, family members that you wish to just express your gratitude to.
The biggest that I want to express my gratitude to would be my mom. She has literally pushed me to obtain higher studies. When I wanted to give up or when I wanted to stay in a little box, she would be like, Sabrina, I know you're shy, I know you have, social anxiety and these things, but try. Let's do it and see how it goes. When I need something done, or whenever I just need a lending hand, or a helping hand, I should say, she's there. She's there for me, and I'm very grateful for her. And I appreciate her a whole lot. So I would just like to give my gratitude out to my mom. She's really my backbone.
Huh. For me, I have a long list. I hope we have enough time. All, I am grateful to God for the opportunity. Because first of all, I remember growing up in school, I never thought that I would have been like that age, have both a first degree and a second degree. That's a really impressive thing I would say for especially a young man in the community here in Grenada. Second of all, my first degree, I am grateful for like my family. My family was my backbone to it all. Like my mom would feed me during the process, make sure I eat something, wash my clothes for me. So can mom, that's up to you. And my colleagues now, like for example, my peers, I remember like my first degree. I have so many friends that I keep in touch with daily that used to help me along the way. Like for example, like Kenjo Williams Baptiste, Colina, so many of them, Molly Mahan, um, um, so much of them from Grenada, so much of them from Grenada and the Caribbean. They used to help me through my studies, even from Jamaica, even from Trinidad, even from so much of them. My masters now, my small group of people who actually like would journey with me through each course. Before we register for any course, we call each other, boy, what are you doing this semester? What are you doing this semester? Oh, we're going to do that together. So for example, Finton Paul, Kimberly, Sabrina, you understand? The whole community of us help each other along the way, and I'm actually grateful for each and every one of them. Without them, trust me, I Kent Thomas would have never made it with a first degree and a second degree with distinction. So all the names I forget, please don't crucify me. I'm grateful for you all. The team, I appreciate you and I love you all. Thanks a lot.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Well, Sabrina, there's a message in the YouTube chat for you from Norma Pierre Lewis. She's asking if you would be interested in running a book club at Cedar. So I'm not sure how you would get into contact with her if you are indeed interested in that aspect.
Yes. I guess she can drop her number or something privately, or she can email me. Yeah. And we can get that going.
Okay, great. So we have about 13 more minutes just to wrap up and give our final thoughts. And I'm going to give you now this opportunity to briefly let those who are listening, who would listen to this recording later, who are thinking of applying to the UWI Global Campus, or who have already applied and are a bit timid or uncertain about their first semester and the continued journey through the end from application to graduation. Based on everything we've discussed today and your journeys up until this point, I want you to give them some advice.
So my advice would be never give up.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes on to online learning, it can get difficult at times.
Mm-hmm.
So just think about you graduating, thinking about you getting your degree with honors, with first class honors, and just push through. Sometimes there are going to be nights where you're looking and you're seeing that it's 3 a.m. and you have to go to sleep and wake up at 5. You just got to keep pushing. There's some times that, you'll have to message your teacher and be like, I need a little bit more time. Just keep pushing. There'll be some times that the grade that you receive is not the one that you really wanted. You just keep pushing. There'll be some financial times where you're like, I may not be able to do 3 classes this semester, but you'll be able to do one. Just keep pushing. It gets difficult, but trust me, there's an end and there's a goal you're working towards. So just keep working towards your goal.
For me, I would say that if Ken could do it, you could do it too. And it may sound like simple, like difficult, but like trust me, I went through it. I enjoyed it, and trust me, you can do it too. As you said earlier on that remember that for example, there will be difficult times, and these are the times that will help mold you and make you see that okay, that you really appreciate it. Because right now I can look back and say, oh, I'm grateful for this opportunity because of the struggles I went through, which make me a better person here today. All right. So I would say get involved. Get involved. You can't go wrong. Start the process. Be open, be willing, find a friend. You understand me? Be involved, you can't go wrong. Embrace it, embrace the challenge, because trust me, you would benefit it here in the future as well.
Awesome. Great advice from experts, I would say. We have 2 experts here who are giving you gems, and the recording will be online for you to review and for you to listen. And even as you go through your journey or your decision making, for you to have that sense of encouragement. So I want to take this time once again to remind you that our application period remains open for September 2024. You have until Wednesday, July 31st to apply for our undergraduate programs, as well as tomorrow, Friday, July 12th, is the last day that you can apply for our postgraduate programs. You can access the application portal by logging on to global.ue.edu/apply. That is global.ue.edu/apply. And I also want to remind you once again that there are so many opportunities online where you can donate to help the victims and the countries affected by the passing of Hurricane Beryl over the course of last week. So please take every opportunity you can to help out our fellow Caribbean citizens as they try to navigate these times ahead, considering the loss and the displacement they would have been subjected to. So I want to say thank you to those who are watching us online for joining us today and making the program a success. And special thanks to our panelists, Ken Thomas from Grenada, who was able to join us today even after having some displacement from the hurricane last week, and Sabrina Perry from the British Virgin Islands. We wish you both the very best in your future endeavors, and we know and we will see great things from you going forward as you continue your studies and you develop your careers. So on behalf of the UWI Global Campus, we wish you continued success. Thanks to Patrick Johnson and Marcia Reed for handling all our technical matters and your questions and queries online. So until next time, I'm Cherise Glasgow. Bye.